There are so many nightmarish enemies within the Resident Evil series, especially in Resident Evil 2. The enemies of this game hold many dark secrets behind the truth of their origins. So here is the disturbing lore of every Resident Evil 2 enemy. Within the infested halls of Raccoon City, the Lickers represent a grotesque evolution of the T-Virus's impact on the human genome. These creatures are born from zombie corpses that undergo a horrific secondary mutation. They are named for their most distinguishing feature, which is a long, exposed tongue, capable of tearing flesh and bone. Initially human, these victims' bodies are grotesquely transformed, losing all skin and developing a brain exposed to the elements, which increases their aggression while stripping them of their sight. Yet it is the very blindness that makes Lickers such formidable predators. They hunt not by sight, but by sound, making them nearly perfect silent stalkers. Lickers are truly a nightmare come to life. Beyond their enormous tongue, their bodies are adapted for hunting, with sharp claws capable of climbing walls and ceilings, allowing them to launch surprise attacks from directions one wouldn't normally guard against. Their heightened hearing allows them to detect the slightest sounds, making stealth and silence the only refuge for their relentless pursuit. These creatures serve as a chilling reminder of the virus's power to corrupt and mutate the human form into something unrecognizable and deadly. With their blind yet powerful ability to hunt, Lickers become symbols of the dark nature of the T-Virus, spreading silently through Raccoon City and transforming it into a landscape of nightmares. Tyrant, Model T00, known commonly as Mr. X, was a creature designed to serve as the ultimate bioorganic weapon. The Tyrant project, initiated in the shadows of Umbrella's secretive laboratories, aimed to create a super soldier capable of high-level decision-making and obedience, unlike the uncontrollable and mindless zombies. T00 was dispatched to Raccoon City during the T-Virus outbreak with a singular mission: retrieve the G-Virus sample from the remaining STARS members and eliminate any witnesses. Physically, T00 is a towering menace, with its heart externally armored and its flesh almost immune to gunfire. It wears a distinctive trench coat as part of a prototype weapon system that regulates its temperature and conceals its grotesque form. Its face, devoid of any human emotion, and its relentless pursuit make it an ever-present shadow of doom for the survivors. The Tyrant's presence in Resident Evil 2 is not just a constant threat, but a narrative device that heightens the tension and fear. Its ability to suddenly appear, breaking through walls and doors, forces players into a scared survival state. The Tyrant's near invincibility and the chilling sound of its footsteps echoing through the halls create an atmosphere of dread in the game. The creation of Mr. X and its deployment in Raccoon City shows the lengths Umbrella would go in weaponizing biology. William Birkin's story is a tragic tale of brilliance corrupted by obsession. His work on the G-Virus was intended to surpass the achievements of the T-Virus, offering regenerative abilities that could theoretically conquer death itself. However, the G-Virus's true effect was far more powerful, capable of transforming its host into monstrous forms, each more grotesque than the last. Birkin's devotion to his work blinded him to the dangers, and because of this, he became the first victim of the G-Virus, injecting himself with the virus as he lay dying, betrayed by the very corporation he served. Birkin's mutations are characterized by rampant, uncontrolled growth, resulting in a behemoth with incredible strength and resilience. His once human form is lost amidst the twisted flesh and protruding eyeballs. Each encounter with Birkin reveals a new horror, a testament to the G-Virus's insidious nature, as it adapts and evolves, making him an ever more formidable adversary. The impact of the G-Virus extends beyond Birkin, threatening to spill into the wider world. His attempts to spread the virus, both intentionally and as a consequence of his loss of reason, underscore the narrative of Resident Evil 2 as a cautionary tale. The game explores themes of scientific ethics, the dangers of unchecked research, and the catastrophic potential of bioweapons. The origin of the zombie outbreak in Raccoon City can be traced back to the T-Virus, a pathogen developed by the Umbrella Corporation. Initially designed for use in biological weapons, the virus escaped containment, spreading rapidly among the population. The virus's transmission through direct contact and bodily fluids turned the city into a breeding ground for the undead. These zombies are a grotesque parody of their former selves, driven by insatiable hunger for flesh, and a constant threat to the survivors attempting to navigate the ruins of the city. The virus induces necrosis in its host, leading to their death and subsequent reanimation. These reanimated corpses retain basic motor functions, allowing them to move and attack, but are devoid of any semblance of humanity or individuality. Their relentless pursuit of the living is driven by a primitive instinct, making them both pitiable and terrifying. The giant alligator is one of the most unexpected and shocking encounters in Resident Evil 2. The origin of the giant alligator is rooted in the unfortunate reality of urban ecosystems, where all manner of waste, and in this case the T-virus, finds its way into the sewer systems. Initially an ordinary alligator discarded as an exotic pet, it became a victim of the T-virus, mutating far beyond its natural size and aggression. Encountering the giant alligator in the sewers is a pivotal moment in Resident Evil 2, symbolizing the unpredictable and wide-ranging impact of the outbreak. The fight against the giant alligator is not just a battle for survival, but a dramatic representation of humanity's struggle against the consequence of its own actions. The sewers, a symbol of the city's hidden processes and discarded secrets, became the arena for this confrontation. Defeating the alligator requires ingenuity and courage, highlighting the game's reoccurring theme of overcoming overwhelming odds through perseverance and resourcefulness. The giant alligator's story is a cautionary tale within the larger narrative of Resident Evil 2, a reminder of the far-reaching consequences of environmental and biological tampering. It embodies the game's critique of humanity's often reckless disregard for nature and the unforeseen dangers that can arise when the balance between human activity and the natural world is disrupted. The dark origin of the IV zombies traces back to the Umbrella Cooperation's relentless experimentation with the T-virus on various forms of life. Among these experiments were attempts to create bioorganic weapons that can control and manipulate plant life. The result was the IV series, genetically modified plants with predatory instincts. However, when these plants came into contact with the T-virus infected corpses littering the city, a new form of life was unintentionally birthed. The virus facilitated a terrifying mutation between the plant and human host, resulting in the IV zombies. Physically, IV zombies are a nightmarish picture of vines and plant matter ensnaring and sprouting from the decaying flesh of their human hosts. Their appearance is a stark reminder of nature's power to reclaim and repurpose, even in the context of biotechnological catastrophe. These creatures possess deadly capabilities, including the ability to spew toxic spores that can incapacitate their prey, and razor-sharp teeth capable of decapitating a human head. These creatures are a dark reminder of the consequences that can arise in such tampering, showing the dangers of experimentation beyond control. Zombie dogs, originally part of the Umbrella's security detail, were subjected to the T-virus, either as part of deliberate experiments or accidental exposure. The resulting transformation turned them from disciplined security animals into feral, flesh-hungry monsters, showcasing the virus's ability to corrupt and mutate across species lines. These dogs roam the streets and ruins of Raccoon City, hunting in packs and adding a layer of unpredictability and danger to the survivors' navigation through the infected urban landscape. Physically, the Cerberus retains some aspects of their canine form, but are grotesquely altered by the virus. They exhibit severe signs of necrosis, with exposed bones and decaying flesh, yet retain enhanced physical prowess. Their speed and agility are heightened, making them formidable opponents capable of swift, lethal attacks. This combination of physical mutation and enhanced predatory abilities makes them a symbol of the T-virus's nature. Encounters with Cerberus in Resident Evil 2 are moments of intense fear and adrenaline, challenging players to rethink their strategies. Unlike the slow-moving zombies, the Cerberus can quickly close distances, forcing players into rapid decision-making and precise action. The story of the Cerberus in Resident Evil 2 is not just one of terror and threat, it is a narrative thread into the game's exploration of the outbreak's consequences. These zombie dogs embody the pervasive reach of the T-virus, serving as a haunting reminder of the thin line between domesticity and wildness, between protector and predator. Deep in the sewers of Raccoon City lies the G-Organism, a chilling showcase of the catastrophic potential of the G-virus. This virus was intended to create bioorganic weapons of unparalleled resilience and adaptability. Unlike the T-virus, which primarily reanimates dead tissue, leading to the creation of zombies, the G-virus fosters rapid cellular growth and regeneration, allowing for the host's continuous evolution into increasingly powerful forms. This capacity for rapid mutation makes the G-Organism not just a formidable foe, but a symbol of the virus's dark creativity. The G-Organism's ability to infect others, attempting to inflict its own kind through the implantation of embryos, adds a layer of existential horror to its physical threat. This reproductive cycle is a dark mirror to human procreation, twisted by the virus into a mechanism for spreading death and mutation. The presence of G-Organism in the game serves as a constant reminder of the G-virus's catastrophic impact on individuals. It embodies the dangers of unchecked scientific exploration, where the quest for knowledge and power can lead to unspeakable horrors. The giant spiders of Resident Evil 2 weave a web of fear and fascination, embodying the T-Virus's horrifying influence on animal life. These oversized spiders, mutated far beyond their natural size and aggression, lurk within the shadowed confines of Raccoon City and its sewers, presenting a lethal challenge to the survivors of the outbreak. Originating from the common spiders that inhabited the sewers and underground facilities of Raccoon City, these creatures were transformed by accidental exposure to the T-Virus. This virus triggered a grotesque acceleration of growth and metabolism, resulting in their monstrous size and enhanced predatory instincts. The giant spider's venom, already dangerous in its natural form, became potent enough to paralyze or even kill a human with a single bite, making them one of the deadliest creatures in the game's ecosystem. The design and behavior of the giant spiders tap into a primal fear shared by many. Their skittering movements, the eerie sound of their legs on hard surfaces, and their sudden lethal strikes from the darkness are crafted to evoke a terrified reaction from players. This fear is compounded by the environmental storytelling within Resident Evil 2, where webs and remnants of their prey hint at their presence, building tension and anticipation long before an encounter. The giant spiders of Resident Evil 2 are a testament to the game's ability to blend scientific fantasy with deep-seated fears, creating a compelling and immersive experience. They push the boundaries of the game's narrative and gameplay, inviting players to confront their fears in the quest for survival. Chief Brian Irons, the corrupt police chief of Raccoon City, stands as a stark embodiment of human depravity amidst the chaos of the T-Virus outbreak. His character is a potent reminder that monsters are not solely born of viruses and mutations. They can also arise from the depths of the human psyche. Before the disaster, Irons was already a deeply flawed figure, embroiled in corruption, bribery, and the manipulation of his position for personal gain. His alliance with the Umbrella Corporation allowed him to turn a blind eye to the ethical atrocities being committed, all while lining his pockets and ensuring his authority remained unchallenged. However, as the T-Virus engulfs the city, Irons' behavior escalates from morally bankrupt to outright sociopathic, taking advantage of the situation to indulge his darkest impulses without fear of repercussion.
That's the mayor's daughter. I was told to look after her, but I failed miserably. Just look at her. She was a true beauty.
Irons decides to sabotage the police department's effort to combat the zombies' threat, leading to the unnecessary deaths of countless officers and civilians. Furthermore, his obsession with taxidermy of animals takes a dark and chilling turn as he begins to apply this hobby to human victims. This nightmarish transformation of his office into a personal house of horrors serves as a grim reflection of his psyche. His eventual demise is one of karma, as he is murdered at the hands of William Birkin, one of the very monsters he helped unleash into the streets of Raccoon City.
Oh my god!
Chief Irons was a sick and twisted individual, and is a reminder that sometimes the most terrifying monsters are those that wear a human face, their monstrosity hidden behind a mask of authority. In the shadowed, forgotten corners of Umbrella's underground laboratory, the giant Moth flutters, a creature that underwent a monstrous transformation by the T-Virus. The mutation process that birthed the giant Moth shows the true nature of the T-Virus. Originally an ordinary moth that came into contact with the virus, this moth underwent a radical transformation. The virus catalyzed a rapid and unnatural growth spurt, bolstering its size to that of a small car and gifting it with a more aggressive behavior, turning a once petty creature into a formidable predator with its new ecosystem. The sight of such a familiar creature, now monstrous in its proportions and hostility, plays on the fear of known turned alien. Its lair, draped in webs and littered with the husks of prey, becomes a testament to the T-Virus's ability to corrupt and dominate the natural order. The inclusion of the giant Moth in Resident Evil 2 serves as a reminder of the pervasive reach of the T-Virus, affecting all life forms within Raccoon City and beyond. Through its monstrous wings, the giant Moth casts a shadow over the narrative, a symbol of the catastrophic consequences of playing God with the building blocks of life. The creatures of Resident Evil 2 are more than mere obstacles to overcome. They are important to the fabric of the game's narrative, each contributing to the rich, dark tapestry of its lore. From the relentless pursuit of the Tyrant, to the silent stalking of the Lickers, the tragic mutation of William Birkin, the relentless horde of zombies, the monstrous giant Alligator, the grotesque Ivy zombies, the feral Cerberus, the corrupted Chief Irons, the monstrous giant Moth, the terrifying spiders, all the way to the nightmarish Organism. Resident Evil 2 2 presents a complex ecosystem of horror. These creatures, each a product of the T-Virus's corrupting influence, add depth and diversity to the game's rich tapestry of horror. Click this video here to find out the lore of every single Resident Evil 3 enemy. Thank you for watching.